Okay, so we're going to get started tonight. We have Allison sharing with us again all of her favorite Vizzlie tips and tricks. If you
Yes.
haven't used Vizzlie before, it's an amazing tool. She
It
will
is.
kind of go over a little bit of it, but I'll let her just take it away. Go ahead, Allison.
Thank you. I always enjoy coming and training. I thought I would, even before I get into the Vizzlie, I thought I always like to do a little, something to think about with your business. So I'm going to just go over something that sometimes I talk with my girls about, and it's the levels of learning and mastering your mindset. And there's three really super important levels of learning, three really important beliefs. And sometimes when you think, why isn't it everything sort of coming together and working for me with this business? And so there's three beliefs that are super duper important that you need to master. Okay. So the first belief in your business, which is the whole foundation of your whole business, okay, is the belief in the company. Okay. It is super important that you have a full belief in Scentsy, the company, in the products, in the value that you are giving to your customers. And it's super important that you truly believe that to be successful. This one, first off, this one is the easiest out of all because Scentsy's products are amazing, right? So not a hard one, but to believe in the products. But what happens is, if you're somebody that's decided to sell and you were turned off in some way, something rubbed you the wrong way, there's something you're worried about in a certain product that's sort of been bothering you. I always feel like you have this bubble of your business bubble. And the thing is, when you start having doubts about the company and the product, those doubts will poke holes in your bubble and they will seep in and ruin your business. So it is really important that when it comes to belief, that you believe in the company, in the product, in the value that you're giving to others, and not just the values of the products, but the value of the opportunity, that you really believe that this is a life-changing opportunity that you can offer people. And it's going to show, it's going to come out in the way that you talk about the product and the way that you talk about the being able to join this company and the opportunity. And so that is something that I always like to kind of go over and talk to people about, is really making sure that you have that belief. And so, your natural energy will exude when you believe in what you're selling. So, and that if you, for some reason, there's something that you're not happy about in the business, it's really important that you reach up to your upline and that you have them maybe explain things to you or train you properly or sort something out. And then that really shifts your perspective, which is super important. Okay. So, because you can't fake belief. Okay. It'll come out in everything that you say and do. Second belief is the belief in the process, okay, of your business. And that is the belief in direct sales, how it works. Maybe you are a doubter or someone that sort of always leans to maybe the negative a bit, and you're leery, or that maybe you're still in the early stages and thinking it's a fad, which, let me tell you, I have, even just in our Together We're Better group, there's a lot of extremely successful people that make a lot of money every month doing this business, and that it's there for all of us to grow and have a business and have a team. So it's really important to believe in the process. And when I say the process, I mean, when your upline or sponsor is saying, here is a system that if I get you to do A and B, you're going to end up getting C. And that you really need to believe in that process, because the process really does work. And I'm not going to say the process is easy, that it's going to there's things that you're going to be asked to do that is going to really push you out of your comfort zone. Okay. And so sometimes, as much as you want to believe the process, like if I really make sure that I do all my, reaching out to customers and work on my bookings, how many bookings am I going to have a month for next month? So that next month I know that I have 1 or 2 parties a week. And that if I make sure that I reach out to so many people a week, offering them the opportunity, that it is in turn going to grow and build and manifest into this amazing business that's going to, bring in great, money for you, and also, change your life and your family's life with this opportunity. But again, I think sometimes people, as much as you want to believe in the process, I think sometimes people they'll sometimes think, maybe that person can do it, but it just doesn't work for me. But the process really does work if you take the time and do the things that need to be done. Let me just see here. Yeah, so trust the process, and I promise you it will yield fruit, AKA your PRV and new recruits. And that you believe what your upline is teaching you. Yeah, and again, it comes back to that. You start letting like negativity seep in, and you start thinking, oh, like I've been for a whole month trying to reach out to people and I haven't had any bites. And you can really start to, convince yourself that you can't do it, but you can. And it's just being consistent, and all of a sudden it'll happen. And you'll be like, oh my God, I got one. I remember I was my whole first year before I got my first recruit. And I was so, when I got my first recruit, I was so excited. And, there's a little something that, I'll get to that in a minute, but I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. Yeah. And I think that's the thing is, a lot of us will say, that person might be great at doing it, but I can't do it. When it comes to, reaching out and doing the bookings and parties. So trust the process. And then the third belief, and this is the hardest one to overcome, and the one that I spend the most time with my team on, is to believe in yourself and have that self-confidence. And that's a tough one. And, as much as I've been doing the business now, 6 years, I still have self-doubt. We all do. We're human. We all have, self-esteem issues to a point where we're like, sometimes we doubt ourselves, right? And we doubt, oh, can I do that? And it's a self-confidence thing. And, it's one that you can't just flip a switch and go like, okay, I fixed that, I'm great. It's something we work on constantly, right? To be courageous, to be brave, to put ourselves out there. And one thing is going live. And I know that's a tough one for a lot of people, but this is a social, this is a people business where we're reaching out and making contact, and you're building relationships with people. And especially now with everything changed. Now, some of you guys might be like in the States where your stuff's open right back up, but we're still all on lockdown here where we aren't supposed to go and do anything. And so it makes our business now has totally flipped into a whole different way that we work our businesses. And that's where I'm going to get into the Vizzlie tonight and doing online parties, because with COVID, my whole business platform has changed. Like with no more home parties, I'm doing online parties constantly. That's all I do. So being courageous, be brave, going live. And that's something I always look for in new recruits, is people that are, upbeat, confident, but, really sort of believe in themselves, because that's one thing. Then you don't have to overcome that if you're already really comfortable and, talking to people and going live, and that, because that is a very tough one to overcome. When we did the training in this group, that was one of the toughest homework weeks, was asking everyone to go live, because it's tough. If you're not somebody that does it on a regular basis and you've got comfortable doing it, it's a big obstacle. And I think something, and I'm going to get you guys all to do this quick little exercise, but I really want you to think right now, when I say to you, do you believe that you can do this? And obviously your answer should be yes, but you really want to believe that yes, I can do this, that there's no, it comes down to you are learning something new. It's like when you first get recruited and you get your kit and you're so excited because you want to show everyone and sell. And then you're like, oh my goodness, but I might have to do a party, and can I do that? Or, oh my God, am I going to be able to enter all these orders in? And it, anything new is always scary, but it's just something you need to learn. That's all it is. It comes down to, everything that's thrown at us is something new. We learn it, we overcome it, and then we go on to something else that we learn and grow. And so the next question is, do you believe you're worthy? Do you believe you're worthy to end up with a big team of people that you've recruited? And that's something that you have to say, yes, I'm worthy of that. I deserve this, and that I've worked hard at it. And that, you are worthy of greatness and great things. And again, if that's something where you really struggle with that, then that's something where you need to say, you know what, then I need to really work on personal development, and maybe have some daily mantras where every day you're like, I can do it. I am going to be a recruiting superstar, and really you're just going to have to keep telling yourself that until you believe it. Something that I do, funny enough, when I accomplish something great, and it's funny because we always treat other people so great. And then when it comes to ourselves and our internal dialogue, sometimes we can be so mean to ourselves. And sometimes I'll stop myself and think, would I really say that to somebody else? But yet I'm saying it to myself. I catch myself doing that. And so when I do something really great, or I'm really proud of an accomplishment, I will go to the mirror. I know you're going to think, oh, she's crazy. I will go to the mirror and you give yourself a high five. You're going to give yourself a high five, because just like you're giving someone else a high five, and it actually maps something in your brain that helps with your self-esteem and self-confidence. Okay, because you're rewarding yourself. You're saying, like, you did a great job, because I find sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit for all the amazing things that we learn and we do. Okay, so that was sort of, I just wanted to go over that with you guys, because I think it's really important, when it comes to a business, is a lot of it comes down to just learning a new skill, like what I'm going to talk to you guys tonight about, Vizzlie. And that, it's just mastering it. And then if you're someone that already is like, I love myself, your self-esteem is on point, but maybe you're like, wow, I've really been slacking when it comes to something else, like booking people for parties. Then master booking, master reaching out to people, master hostess coaching. That was another thing. I was booking parties, but my parties weren't growing so well. And I was thinking, what is it I'm not doing? And I thought, you know what? I stink at hostess coaching. Like, I stink at it. And so that was something that I sat down and really did some research on, great tips and tricks and things to do to really up my game when it came to hostess coaching. And then same thing, if you've sort of got your PRV every month down pat, then you're going to work on team building. And these are all just things that you will learn to work smarter, not harder, right? And that's what we want to do. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight, is working smarter, not harder. And that's what Vizzlie does for us. And then it's taking what you know, okay? And then we're going to master it. And then once you take what you know and you master it, then you're going to roll it out in a massive action. Okay, so once I got really good with Vizzlie and doing online parties, now I roll it out and do 2 or 3 a week of online parties, right? Using a system. And then once you sort of, have a system down pat, down the road, then you start to do a total mind shift, and then you'll start to train others to work your systems when it comes to your team. So, all right, so let's talk. That was sort of my little thing on belief, so let's talk about Vizzlie. So first off, back prior to Vizzlie, back prior to COVID, I didn't even do many online parties. I'll be honest. I did most home parties, basket parties, craft sales, you name it. I wasn't an online party person. I actually had convinced myself in my beliefs that they were crap and they don't work. So I was like, I'm not doing them. I don't think they work. Then COVID happened. We're not allowed to at the moment we're on lockdown. We're not even allowed to go out unless we're getting food or pharmacy or whatever. We're not supposed to. So it's like, how am I going to still work my business and be successful? And so I was like, I'm going to have to master online parties. I'm going to have to. And so when Vizzlie came about, and funny enough, I didn't even know about it until Mandy had done that video on Vizzlie. And previously to Vizzlie, what we did with an online party is I would ask somebody to have a party, and then I would create them a group on Facebook, which you're still going to do. Okay. But then what I would do is I would have to schedule all those posts every day for a whole week and have them all scheduled, which takes quite a bit of time. And then, then the party's ready to go and everything will post automatically. Right. Well, now with Vizzlie, you have a whole template. And what's great is a lot of us have already made the templates, and a lot of us can use each other's templates. So a template is like, think of it like a book someone's already made. And on each day of the week, there's like a couple posts each day of the week. And what Vizzlie does is it's going to post everything for you. But what's great is the party is already made. Okay. It's there for you. There'll be a couple posts that you need to personalize, but it's there. So when you ask someone to have a party, you don't really have to worry about the party because you're going to take 2 seconds to set it up. Once you do it a couple times and get the hang of it, and how it works is you just pretty much, you go in and open your group on Facebook for your hostess. And then you make sure you go into settings and you add the app Vizzlie. So then you go onto your computer or phone and you sign into your Vizzlie, and then you hit groups, and it'll pull up every group on Facebook that you're affiliated with. And you will pick that group and you will set up the template for when the party's going to start for the week. Okay. It's going to run. That's it. Then you just have to spend all your time hostess coaching, getting, the invites done and, teaching your host and working your party. So this is something I have been doing for a while, but what I've really been doing lately, which I wasn't, was every new recruit I get now. And this is what I came to talk to you guys about tonight, because Mandy already talked to everyone about Vizzlie. And you can go, Molly also mentioned earlier in the talk that you can go on, and she's going to tag it, and you can see Mandy's beautiful video explaining all about how to use Vizzlie and how to set it all up. Plus, pretty much most upline can help you with that as well. Your sponsor, just to get you, once you do it a couple times, it's super, super duper easy. Okay. But what I've been doing is every new recruit that I get, I throw them a launch party now. As soon as I get that join email, I don't wait for them to get their kit, because that shooting star is the first 15 days. So now, as soon as I get that email, I email them right away and go like, oh my God, that's so great. I'm going to throw you a launch party. It's great because the group ends up turning into their party. So I create a little image at the top that says like so-and-so's VIP, Sensi group, whatever. And then I set up the Vizzlie. I make them an admin. As long as you make them an admin in the group, because even though I'm opening the group, it's their group. Or sometimes I'll get them to open the group if they're savvy with Facebook, then they'll make me an admin. As long as you're the admin and they add the Vizzlie, then I can go on my app and set up Vizzlie to post. But what I find is happening is when I would have new recruits, I'd be waiting for them to get their kit and I'd want to help train them. But then sometimes I'd get busy with something else, or before you knew it, the first 15 days were gone by and they might've been still just getting set up. Or sometimes failure to launch, they pay for their kit and then they get discouraged and then they don't do anything. But I find setting them up right away with that launch party, they right away get thrown into having to answer questions, even though I try to help them as well with customers. I also go live once during the week to show them like actual products live besides the posts. And I find that right away, even before they get their kit, like by the end of the week, I've got most of them certified, which first off, look at our incentive. You needed 3 people signed up and certified, right? So they're definitely getting their 500 for Shooting Star, which I believe when somebody gets Shooting Star, we also get a little something for them getting Shooting Star. So, I mean, I'm happy to do it even still, but we also get rewarded by the company for having our recruits hit Shooting Star. And statistics say if you have a new recruit that hits Shooting Star and does well with Sensational Start or does well off the hop, having a party and starting to build their customer base, they are way more likely to stay in the company than somebody that, you know, gets their kit and then they're not sure what to do. And then they start doubting themselves. And then, you know, it ends up not turning into anything. And I think it's a tough one. This month is like, it's great because these months can totally turn your business around. You can do huge recruiting on these months. Now, obviously, the great thing is you can do huge recruiting, but you're obviously going to get some that aren't going to do a lot with it, right? But you only need a few rock stars to really change your numbers, to hit like director and so on. And so, you know, you might recruit 10 people this month, but you might get a couple just rock stars that just kill it and do great with numbers and recruiting. And so these months, like if you're sitting here this month and you're already on the 4th, and you haven't even started trying to recruit, you're crazy. This is such an opportunity. The company is pretty much saying you can sign up for free. I mean, the mini plugin is $26. You pay $26 for the mini plugin. They can sign up to sell for free. If it ends up working out, awesome. If it doesn't, you gave it a try. You got to see how you would like doing, you know, direct sales. And so I truly believe that helping people right away get that group set up and the launch party, it's not hard for them to invite everyone. And especially, here's something else I find. When I'm doing hostess coaching and it's like somebody I've asked to have a Sensi party and I'm working it, they're not maybe as enthusiastic to get like all their guests there, where with new recruits, they're so excited because this is they're just starting their business, right? So they always kill it with like guests. Like every launch party, I've got 30 or more people in each one because they're excited. They're starting their business. And then all I'm doing is just helping make it easy by throwing that first launch party and getting those templates posting every day. And I'm telling you, I'm getting 500 to 1,000 on each party. So, and I've done now 6 of them. Last week, I had 4 going at once. It can get a little crazy, let me tell you, because these are new recruits. So they can't really answer a lot of the questions because they don't know anything yet, right? So it can get a little hairy. I was definitely on my phone a lot last week answering but there's just simple questions like, how do I enter a 6-pack? Or, you know, can you recommend a certain kind of bar? Like it's nothing that takes hours, but I think in the long run, you know, it's really going to help your new recruits. And in turn, it's really going to help your business. And so I highly recommend it. Even if it does take time, you know, it's like, what's that saying that, you know, you're going to do the hard things now so that, you know, down the road, you do the hard things now and then it'll get easier down the road, right? You know, 5 really hard years of working your tail off. Are you laughing? Matt's laughing at me here. I'm winging it. But you know, down the road, like it's going to be worth it. You're going to have this team and be like, yeah, you know, I really worked hard and really, you know, you want to really support those new recruits. Cause I know when I first started, like it's scary because you forget how little you know. When I first started, you know, some people have never done any direct sales before. And so, you know, it's being there to support them so that, you know, they have a really good outcome in the beginning, because that's going to keep them excited for the long haul for sure. So I don't know. I think that was pretty much it that I wanted to cover tonight. I will post that video that I made, and it was like a live screen share, and it shows you exactly where to go and add the Vizzlie app so that you can throw the party. And, but I think it's a great hand in hand with recruiting this month, and then right away throw them a launch party. Again, even if they decide not to stick with it because it's a cheap join month, they're going to end up becoming active. becoming active, but they'll probably hit their shooting star, which in turn you're making money on because they hit their shooting star.
Yeah, to answer that, if you are a sponsor of someone who hits shooting star, you get a $25 product credit.
Yeah.
So, and you'll see it, like you can use it when you're checking out. You'll see, where you can choose credit card or whatever. It'll have a little tab to say, use product credit. And if you have any, it'll be there.
And they give it to you on payday. So like if your new recruit got shooting star in May, then your June pay, the 9th of June, you'll see it added to the product credit.
Last month, it will show up on the 9th of this month because it has to go through every month. They audit. So that way, like they make sure everyone who actually earned something earned it, that type of thing. That's why it does take till the 9th to do all of our pay stuff, because they just go through absolutely everything and look for any discrepancies, look for anything that looks odd. So that's why it takes a little bit longer. And that's why if you have recruits, because I'm thinking if you're all here, you're planning on recruiting, when you do have that first recruit or have, recruits who start wondering, oh, it doesn't show that I'm a lead consultant yet, it will show on the 9th.
Yeah.
Okay. So
another thing I did to simplify, because it's a launch party and I don't want to make things too complex for the new rep, is I went into the template and I took out I left some of the games, like the one where each customer goes like they number like 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to 100. And if someone mismatched, like something like that's easy. But the one that I usually do with like gift bags to offer something, like I took that out and just, I put a little thing to say like, hey, I'm so excited. I'm here to co-host this launch party for so-and-so. Like I did I changed the template, but once I changed it, I've saved it. So now I use it for every single new rep.
Would you be willing to share that template code with us?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
That'd be amazing. Because I know some people are weird about sharing their codes.
Oh, no.
They get protective of them.
Sharing is caring. No, I don't mind at all.
Okay, cool. Because I know, because this is a really good idea, because like guys, Jennifer's in here and I'm just getting her started on Vizzlie. So, this would be great for me to help her out with. I kind of did her party before this, but still, I mean, if this is something that's really working for you, this is something I would love to try, because
it's really making a difference. And I haven't had one person. Okay, that's not true. I had one person that was like, I'm a kidnapper. It's a hobby. I don't want to have a party. But everybody else was like right away. They're like, yeah, let's do it. I mean, why not? And for them, it's all in their favor, So, but because I have one girl, when did she start? So she started, it was enough days. It was like a Wednesday, Thursday. I try to run the parties like Saturday to Saturday kind of thing, or Monday to Sunday. So she had joined on like a Wednesday or Thursday. So I started her Monday. And so she still had like 3 days left, and we still entered her party, and it was $800. So she had shooting star. But like, again, because they're so excited, they're inviting like everyone and anyone. I find you're getting like 30, you're not just having 7 or 8 guests. Like I find it really works well because they're new recruits. And where hosts, maybe it's hard to sometimes get a host excited. And I know you're not making the PRV, but you still want your new recruits to do well, because in turn, then you're going to do well, right? And so I find it's so exciting because these new recruits, they are also the host. And so they're super engaged and helping out. And so, yeah, it's awesome. Hi, cutie. Hi.
Now, question going off of this. So when you do Vizzlie, guys, if you haven't done it before, you need to make a new group. Now, when you do these as their launch party, do you just make that their VIP group then after that?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't even put their image that says a launch party. I actually put VIP group, so that it's already done for them, so that after the party's over, they have all their friends and family in there, and they can just continue to keep posting right in that group. Plus, a lot of our party posts are very general, like explaining about different products. So they're great to be in there, And then one of my posts in the launch party is a link to their catalog. And I go into their PRV, and like, again, they're new, right? So they don't know where everything is. So I will go into their personal website, copy and paste their, their catalog. And then I put it in one of the first posts up at the top, and I, put it as announcements. So I kind of help set up the group for them and get them, going. Then I know when I started, you're like feeling around in the dark, trying to like figure out how to get everything set up. Where this way, we set it all up for them. So it's great. It's great. Plus your admin, and either they set up the group and make you admin, or you set up the group and make them admin. But I can kind of keep an eye on things and see if they're posting. And sometimes if I'm not too busy, I'll even, after the launch party, I'll post maybe a couple things here and there. And just, again, you're teaching them how to use copy and paste posts and stuff like that, So it's a great way to sort of, help out.
Absolutely.
As they're learning and getting comfortable with the business. So
absolutely.
Sorry about my
dogs. Have any questions for Allison?
Winston.
Winston, come here, buddy.
Can you get him, please?
Come here,
He's my 12-year-old blind pug.
Oh,
My daughter
someone comes in the room and he's like, wait a second.
Probably he felt the door shut, probably like he can feel somebody came in the house. Did she find them? Okay.
If you don't want to share your question, you can always type it in the chat too. If you guys have any
And
questions about
always feel free to even, not all upline use Vizzlie. So you're welcome to reach out to me. And I can go like live and just show you, I don't mind. It doesn't, honestly, it really doesn't take long. If anyone needs help, for me to just sort of show you how to get it set up. Because again, after you do the first couple, it's like riding a bike. It's nothing. You can whip off like 4 of them a week. And that's why I feel like it's not as daunting having online parties when you don't have to worry about all the posts. All you have to worry about is answering your customers, which Facebook gives you the notifications. If anyone asks anything in a group, I get the notification to answer them, right? And so I just,
with that being,
that's not just the launch party, but that's like if it's my own hosts that I'm running Scentsy parties, so many a week.
With that being said about the notification thing, there was just a new update with Facebook that it just puts the notifications on as highlights. So, hey, Hunter. So when you do go on to your groups that you're actually working with in like that are parties and VIPs and all that kind of stuff, make sure you pin the group.
Yes.
And then go into notifications and select all, because then you'll get every single notification for posts. That's a new.
I have to pin the group first.
Well, I pin every single group that I'm hosting.
Yeah.
For that simple fact that it will come up on the side of my
right there.
level rather than having to type it in all the time to find it.
Okay. So, and then, sorry, you said go where it into notifications and just put all, right?
Yeah, go into the notifications and select all.
I think I'm always I think I do that anyway because I'm always paranoid. Like, oh my God, I'm not gonna get if somebody asks something, I'm not gonna get it. Because again,
well, yeah, and that's the thing too, because if you're not friends with them on Facebook, there's a very good possibility you're not going to see that post. And I mean, hopefully your hostess is, interacting enough that she'll tag you. But yeah, you want to make sure that you're getting those posts. So if you do hit all, you should.
Yeah.
Especially if they're commenting on something of yours, your name should come up. But
absolutely, yeah.
Vicky B says, is it possible to search templates?
I don't think so, but I know that everyone is very generous with Scentsy. Like when I first started, because I was looking for a Canadian one, I went on I think it might have been a directors group though, but I remember asking and there was like, everyone was like, here's my template here. It's like a little code. But there's lots of people that have them, definitely, that if you just ask, I bet if you asked in our Together We're Better group right here, who has Vizzlie templates they want to share, I bet a bunch of people will put theirs up. And then you can go, and how it is you go into Vizzlie, it'll say, start or upload a template. And then you put in this little code that looks like a license plate number, and then all of a sudden it'll pop up. And then you can go from there. Another thing that Vizzlie has is, which I did for my team, is you can open up, it's like hold on a minute. Let me see if I can get it here. No, I can't. It's like I have a little team section that I put Team Synergized. And so everyone that signs up, if they put this little code in, it brings up all my templates. So all my downline can go into Vizzlie, and then I think they type in Synergized or something. I'll have to go look. And then it brings up my templates for them to go look at.
I did not know about that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I've set that up too. So then they can just go in and it's right there. The one for them to use for customers, not the launch, not a launch one, but I mean, that's there too, actually, probably, but definitely I make sure that the one that they can use right away for their customers is all set up. You know, and so I'm trying to really get my team into like, you know, work on booking parties and throwing online parties. Try to get 2 a week. If you have 2 a week, 8 a month, even if you're going to get some that are going to flop. That's just the way it goes, right? You're going to get some really great ones and you're going to get some really not so great ones, but it'll all even out in the end. And I'll tell you, if you plan ahead and you have them all, you're going to hit your 2000 PRV, which is going to give you your 5% bonus, you know? And that's how you're going to do it, is plan ahead and work on booking. And I really try to watch the word party because it's always so daunting, right? So I'm always like, hey, like, oh my God, I love all the summer, you know, the Scentsy collections right now for summer, all the summer, you know, fragrances. And why don't you let me give you a shopping link? I'll throw you an online for the week, like an online shopping event, you know, where I post for everyone for a whole week. Everyone will give me your orders. And at the end of the week, you can pick out what you want for free and half price. Most people are like, yeah, okay. Because it's not, you know, they don't have any really obligation to do much except be, you know, I always say, I need you to like comment on the post, like be engaging. It is your guest, but I do all the rest. No fuss, no muss. You just got to invite people. And then the only other thing I wanted to say while we're on, which I've done in hostess, I did a hostess coaching before. This is something that makes a huge difference in parties, is do not mass invite. And I even do up the template now. And I even do the template up for the new recruits, and I do them for my customers. I have set templates saved in my phone that says like, hey, and then it's got like quotation friend's name so that they fill it in, personalize it. Like, hey, like, I hope things are going well with you and your family. You know, and then I talk a little bit about, you know, the, you know, spring and summer fragrances are out, and that I've decided to have, you know, an online shopping event, and I'd love for you to come. And then the party link in the bottom. And so the guest or new recruit just had, and for the new recruits template, it's like, hey, I absolutely love Scentsy products. I decided to jump in and sell. I'm having my launch party. I would love for you to be a part of this. Here's my link. Because it's personal, it's a connection. People will feel obligated to come and be in that group. Once you get them in there, they're going to buy. But I just find that mass invite, it's easy to just click no, ignore. But if somebody personally reaches out to you, and that makes a huge difference on how many people you're going to get in that group. So that's a big one that I always say to any of my hosts that agree for me to throw them a party. That's like one of the biggest things I make sure to reach out to them, is say, here's this template, please send it to 50 or 60 people and reach out to them and personalize their name. It's gonna, you know, and I say it's a really nice personal touch that's gonna make them feel obligated to want to come and be part of the shopping event. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then another question was, what's the name of the group? I know I'm in the Scentsy Vizzlie code group, and I don't know if that's just US or if that's Canada or what, but there's a whole Facebook page devoted to people sharing stuff.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. There you go.
I haven't looked at it in a while because I found a really good one on there for my personal parties. And that's basically what I was just using Vizzlie for. But now you just blew my mind on the whole setting up a launch party.
Awesome.
I'm gonna have to
so easy. I have seen people do like templates for spring break party, Mother's Day party, like theme stuff. And then they have templates ready, which of course you have to, like, especially with limited time. It's tricky with limited time offerings and stuff because, you know, if the stuff sells out in that, but definitely there's lots you can do if you're somebody creative to play around with, you know, templates and parties and yeah.
If you want to, the only thing that you'll have to check too is when you do join these groups, you know, and you find something you like, you have to change it to personalize it. And once a month, you will just have to change it to update any specials, especially the warmer and scent of the month.
Yeah.
Because
I've done that
I was
before.
at a party the other day and I accidentally had last month's warmer of the month, and I'm like, oh, honey, I no. And I saw it right after because
I go in and delete the whole post, and then I repost. You can. Like, even though Vizzlie posts to the group, if you're in the group, you can always delete something.
Oh, and one thing I will tell you too, and it took me a minute to find this, that could get a little frustrating. When you first like hook it to your party in Facebook, you have to go on a laptop. You can't go on your phone to allow Vizzlie to post in your group. So you go all the way down to apps, find Vizzlie and add it, because otherwise Facebook will block it from being able to post for you. And that's just, you know, their malware trying to keep crap out. So just making sure, but you can't do it from a phone, which is so annoying, because like
I'm old school, so I'm always like,
start, and
I'm
then
on my computer.
Vizzlie's yelling at me because so
it's tough if you're someone that likes to do everything on your phone. Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm like old school. My phone screen's too small to like get everything done. I need like the whole monitor to schedule everything. But yeah, you need to go on to do that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, I do a lot from my laptop, but I do a lot on the go, messaging people, and then I'll get that and I'll be like, crap, I can't turn it on. So yeah, that's just one little glitch and an amazing tool. So, and you know, if you really start, like she was talking about in the beginning, if you have a belief in this company, if you have a belief in yourself, and you put the time in and you want this to be a business, this is going to be an amazing business tool for you. You're going to want to do the paid version every month. It's a business write-off. So you can write that cost off at the end of the year on your taxes. That goes towards, you know, not having to add anything. And after 9 years with Scentsy, I've only had to pay in twice. So, you know, you're doing pretty good starting off, and then, yeah.
It's a paid value. I mean, think about the reason we all have PWS is at $12 a month. You know, at $13 even in Canada for Vizzlie, like that's, you know, commission on, you know, not even a really big order, you know, and you know, think of all the other orders you're going to end up in the month. It's going to be, it's well worth the value for sure.
It's well worth the business investment. Absolutely. Because it's such a time saver. I mean, like, it takes so much off your plate, you guys. If you do well, and like Allison said, she said she wasn't really, you know, a big virtual partier before, but look what COVID has done. And, you know, who knows? I know Canada just went back under lockdown again. I don't know if it's all of Canada, but I know it's where like Jesse and Brandy and, you know, all y'all are. So yeah. So, you know, you're not going to be doing anything else anytime soon, or you're a total introvert like me and you build your business on online and basket parties. So you don't have to interact with people in person. You get too anxious, and it's so much easier to talk like this. So, you know, I mean, honestly, it's a great tool. All right. Court says, I've been hosting my first party this week, and I've had Carrie message me a couple times. I missed a couple posts that I forgot to change in my info, and accidentally posted Brandy's info. So I had to delete and post it again. Yeah.
It's all good. We've all done it.
It happens.
I'm pretty sure it was like 3 posts. And they had Brandy's picture, Brandy's website. I'm like, I literally went through that template like 100 times before I like attached it to the party. Like, just make sure. And it's like, really?
One of the posts was posted for 58 minutes before I caught it.
Before we caught it, yeah. Like, oh my God.
Was at least one of them a post with my cats in it?
No.
No. Unfortunately, no. Not
you
your
get
pretty
more
kitty.
followers on Instagram.
Well, then that's better than, okay, so I borrowed my template from a girl who is a Patriots fan, and I live in dead central Wisconsin.
Oh no.
And I forgot to change out her demonstration of her diffuser video. and she was filling it with a Patriots cup, and she's like, "Go Pats, my favorite team." And it was in my sister's party, and my sister's like, "What in the hell is this?" And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, nope, that's just a demonstration video. I swear it's not me.
It wasn't me.
So I had to go find mine and upload and be like, okay, sorry, I swear I would never do that to you guys. So
man,
yeah,
it happens. You know what? We're used to seeing them all the time because we do parties all the time, but the guests and that probably didn't even, they probably just thought like, oh, it's just another rep or something showing products. So
exactly. And that's the thing. If you're new, they kind of expect that because you haven't been doing this long, and don't feel like just because you don't have this all together, like Allison has said, she's willing to share stuff. There are so many other consultants out there that want to share, because we get nothing out of being total bags and not sharing with each other, because that doesn't fill your cup, that doesn't keep your heart right. I mean, sharing is caring, and there's enough of this business to go around. When you think about it, there's only like 300,000 some consultants like total worldwide. When you think about that, that is a very, very small number. There is plenty to go around. There's no such thing as oversaturation. No. There's just, are you going to work for it or are you going to wish for it? And those who want to work for it, I am willing to help, because
absolutely,
there's plenty of time for all of us.
Yeah,
absolutely. Any other questions or anything before we wrap her up for the night? I know, especially for my girl Jennifer there, this is a lot of information.
Yeah, don't feel overwhelmed on all this.
We go through this small, we've got videos. Yeah,
step by step, little by little, you learn it.
Absolutely.
It's supposed to be fun first.
Oh yeah,
lots of fun. So
oh yeah, absolutely. All right, well then I'll let you all go for the night. Thanks you so much for coming and sharing with us, Allison, and
anytime.
Really appreciate it. You always have such great information.
Brandy, message me too.
Okay, well.
Okay.
She's like,
I always like to come. It's fun. And I feel terrible so you know what it is? I'm like a really early morning person. So it's 9 o'clock here when we start. So it's almost 10 o'clock. And like, maybe I'm showing my age now, but 9 o'clock's late when I have to wait up to do training at 9. So last Tuesday, I fell asleep. I remembered early, and then I forgot a little later. Didn't I go to bed? And I forgot. The next morning I wake up, Molly's like, "Did you forget about the training?" And I was like, "Oh my God."
It actually ended up being a good thing, because we just stopped on 2 days ago was the last day to order your spirit kits. So me and Kevin from Guam was on, and who else was on? Was it Brandy? Was it you? No, you weren't here last week. Carrie was here. Julie was here. We were all talking about reunion and how important it is, even if it's virtual. So we went into and we talked a lot about that. So it was actually kind of a blessing, because I think we convinced some more people the importance of it and why you really need to invest in your business this way. So it actually ended up being okay.
Okay. So I definitely wasn't forgetting tonight. I was like,
I know, and I messaged her an hour ago. I'm like, here's your reminder, because she's like, message me. Don't let me
send me a reminder just in case. Well, especially like when I'm doing again, like right now I'm doing 4 parties. So it's a lot online. Time I do that, I'm ready for bed at 9 o'clock. I'm exhausted.
Oh yeah. I go to bed like half an hour after these things. I'm a grandma. Yeah. I'm just like, I love to sleep.
Awful.
So that's my thing. I'm a professional napper. I mean,
me too. I love naps.
All right. Jennifer, I will talk to you about reunion, because you're a late sign up. They might make an exception for you getting the spirit box. If not, we'll work it out with them. We'll figure it out.
Super fun.
All right. Thank you all again for coming. We'll see you next week. I'm not sure what the topic will be yet, but we'll find one. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.